Hi, my friends. This is Cecilia. Welcome back to Ignited Mercy. Today we're picking it up from last time, and we were saying last Saturday that Jesus needed something, and he said to Faustina, "What I need is sacrifice lovingly accomplished." And Faustina answered, "Oh Jesus, yes, I know all the love and mercy that ought to come out of my heart." And Jesus said, "Faustina, I know you know this, but I want you to write this for people like Cecilia and those watching us that, they might worry that they don't have enough material means to be generous with one another. Tell them that they don't need storehouses, they don't need permission, they don't need bank accounts or savings or anything to spare. Tell them they can accumulate treasures in heaven through performing acts of mercy, by praying for each other, thinking of each other, and begging for mercy to the Father for their friends and family." And Jesus needed this, not because of, he was lacking something, but because he wanted you and I to accumulate treasures in heaven so we can then be with him through eternity. So the need of Jesus is actually wanting you and I to be with him forever. Now, in answer to those graces Faustina received, by knowing that she can perform acts of mercy, she said to Jesus, "Jesus, I'm giving you everything." And this is a beautiful conversation that we're going to be reviewing today and next Saturday as well. So this is entry 1318. And she says, "Oh my Jesus, in thanksgiving for your many graces, I offer you my body and soul, intellect and will, and all the sentiments of my heart. Through the vows, I give myself entirely to you. I have nothing more that I can offer you." Jesus said to me, "My daughter, you have not offered me that which is really yours." I probed deeply into myself and found that I loved God with all my faculties, with all my soul, and unable to see what it was that I had not yet given to the Lord, I asked, "Jesus, tell me what it is, and I will give it to you at once with a generous heart." And Jesus said to me with kindness, "Daughter, give me your misery, because it is your exclusive property." All right, let's make a pause here. Here's Faustina, a humble nun who is completely in love with Jesus, and she's offering herself to him. And Jesus turns, and instead of saying, "Thank you, I receive you, I accept you," he says, "Really, you have not given me the only thing that is yours." I felt like he was giving her like a slap across the face. And I'm like, "Jesus, why would you treat her like that?" Right? And this is what Jesus answers. "You have not given me that which is yours, your misery." So as I was reading, that part, I said to myself, I wonder how she's going to reply to this. I mean, she's Faustina, and I was like all ears trying to see what I could learn. Because sometimes I feel like that. Jesus, I'm praying, I'm going to mass, I'm doing all of this for you, I'm offering myself to you, and boom, something horrible happens, right? My child gets sick, I get fired, or something goes wrong in my marriage. And then I turn and I say, I thought we had an agreement that I would do this and you would, take care of me. Well, let's see what Faustina did in a case like this. Faustina says, "At that moment, a ray of light illuminated my soul, and I saw the whole abyss of my misery. In that moment, I nestled close to the most sacred heart of Jesus with so much trust that even if I had the sins of all the damned waiting on my conscience, I would have not doubted God's mercy." Of course, there's an answer that Faustina would give, right? So it wasn't enough that Jesus said to her, "Give me your misery because it's your exclusive property." But on top of that, he sends a ray of light into her soul so she sees the whole abyss of her misery. And instead of hiding away, instead of feeling ashamed, instead of feeling that I'm not good enough to offer myself, who am I that God would want me or love me? She said, "I've committed a lot of sins. I'm really bad. But even with the sins that belong to me, and even if I had all the sins of all the people watching this video, all those in purgatory and in hell, I would not doubt God's mercy." She says that even though she sees the depth of her misery And even if that depth was even deeper, she would have still nestled close to the heart of Jesus with trust. And that was a huge lesson for me. And then she closes saying, I would have not doubted God's mercy, but with a heart crushed to dust. That's the key here. Sometimes when our hearts are crushed, we don't run to Jesus. We stay exactly in our corner and hold our hearts turned to dust into our hands and have sometimes pity on ourselves. Sometimes I have pity on myself, saying, why me? I thought I was being good. Well, Faustina is giving us a lesson here. She says, don't stay in your corner. Don't stay in your depression. Don't stay in your anxiety, in the state that you are at. Give it all to Jesus, and He will do things with it. Let's see what she says. I would have thrown myself into the abyss of your mercy. I believe, O Jesus, that you would have not rejected me, but would absolve me through the hand of your representative. That's the final lesson for today. Faustina says, I am not going to stay in this abyss of misery. I'm going to throw myself into the abyss of your mercy because I know you're going to forgive me. I'm going to go to confession, and through the hand of your representative, I will receive the grace of being restored and cleansed. So today, as we step deeper into Advent and the holidays, remember, perform acts of mercy. Pray for those you love. Pray for those you have a hard time loving. And go to the fountain of grace. Receive forgiveness and reconciliation through the sacrament of confession. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next Saturday.